Hey guys, welcome back from that commercial break. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we are thrilled to have with us once again our official comic book guy sponsor, and that is Mr. Jim Rhone of Creative Comics and Creative Comics 2. We have Jim on at least once a month, and he talks to us about what's going on in both of his shops in the comic book world. And then he and I talk about some pop culture stuff, movies, TV shows, all that stuff. And we're going to do that again today. So, Mr. Jim, welcome back to the show, sir.
How's it going, Tim?
It's good. It feels like it's been forever since I last talked to you, but even though it hasn't, but it's how it feels. Um,
It's been a crazy month. It's
yes,
been
it
a crazy
has. As I mentioned in the show, fall is almost here. Summer just wrapped up, technically, if you want to count Labor Day the other day. So, I mean, here we are.
Yep. The leaves are changing.
I know it's that time of the year. Well, Mr. Jim, as we get started here, tell us what's going on at Creative Comics and Creative Comics 2. What's going on?
Nothing really new, just the same old, selling comic books, selling toys, selling gaming. The Three Joker story started. I
Yes.
read it. I loved it.
I was hoping you'd bring that up. I was going to talk to you about that as one of our highlights here. For those who are just tuning in who may not know, what is the Three Joker story and why is it such a cool story?
Well, you find out there hasn't just been one Joker through all these decades. It's been three different people as a Joker. Batman finally figures it out, and now the Jokers don't even care anymore. They're kind of going. They're not trying to go out one at a time and hide their identity. They're out there in force, and like I said, the first issue, I'm going to say I liked it. It was the best Batman story I've read since the Killing Joke.
Oh man, that's a top story there too. Wow. So
I was just wowed.
now I was looking at some, I guess you call it trailers for the comic book. Now each of these Jokers have basically dominated a certain like decade. Like I think they call it what, the Silver Age Joker. What was it? There was a Golden Age, and then the current one, right?
Yes, how they say it, the clown, the comedian, and the criminal.
There it is. Yeah, from the different eras, right? And like you said, each one has a different style. Like what is it? The Silver Age uses a lot of like gag stuff, like pies and goofing kind of toys and stuff to mess with people. And then each one is different.
But I'm not sure if one didn't pop out if one was down during a different time. So I mean, Batman could have been dealing within maybe even one storyline. Maybe there was three different Jokers Batman was dealing with. That's why he couldn't put his finger on it.
Right. And well, the interesting thing about this too is that for a lot of people that I've talked to about it, they think it's like a multiverse kind of setup, and it's not actually. That's what makes it really interesting.
Correct. The only thing I'm going to say is, I speculate is there's going to be a lot of unanswered questions at the end of this because it's only three books.
Yes.
So I feel like there's going to be a lot. It's an amazing story, but it's not just going to end at this after book three. I think it's going to be a long-term effect in the Batman family universe.
I think so too. It'd be very interesting to see how it plays out. I know that the Three Jokers is DC's biggest push item right now as far as stories go. So if you guys are looking to get into it, if you're a Batman fan, or even if you're a casual Batman fan, this is something you may want to check out. Aside from the Three Jokers story, Jim, what else have you caught your eye on from the coming out this week?
Coming out really soon is Spider-Man number 49. It's a triple-sized book. It's the return of Norman Osborn as the Green Goblin.
Really? Wow.
So I'm pretty hyped about that. Some amazing artists have done cover art. There's probably one that you would even like, Tim, of Paul Dini.
Oh yeah. I love Paul Dini's stuff.
He did a very nice Mary Jane cover.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty sharp looking. But you have James Scott Campbell, you have Mark Bagley, John. Who else is there? My mind just went blank. But there's 13 different regular covers plus the variants.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, but I mean if I had to pick a cover, it'd be tough. I'm like, I really like that one, but I love that Paul Dini art, and I love the J. Scott Campbell cover, and then there's the Bagley classic cover, and but that's going on. For you anime fans, Ultraman.
Oh yeah.
Is going to be a Marvel comic. And I think he's going to cross in within the Marvel universe.
No kidding! Wow.
They have one special. They have one of the variants. At regular price is Spider-Man on Ultraman's shoulder.
Ooh, very cool. That'd be nice.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really cool books coming out this fall. Usually it's the summertime is the big push for the mega events. But there's a lot of really cool single issues. One thing we're also doing, I want to say it's September 16th.
Okay.
September 16th. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday is Batman Day.
Oh yeah. It's his anniversary, right?
Well, we do a Batman Day every September, like second week in September.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is the first year that, since they've been doing it, that the comic shops aren't getting anything for it.
No kid. Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, Walmart's getting their exclusives, and this place is getting that exclusive. There's an online exclusive. But wasn't thrilled to find out that there's no comics or masks or stuff like that. So we're going to make our own Batman Day, Tim.
There we go. I was just about to suggest you do something like that. Absolutely, yes.
So what we're going to be doing, we're going to have a huge sale on people who may not have been current with the Batman books. Number 694 to 699. There's 6 books. We're doing it for $10. It's the current Joker War storyline, which is again a great story. So if you're not current with the Batman books and you want a quick read for a great price, the first time Harley Quinn fights Punchline, and the first Clown Killer characters in there. There's some first appearances in there. It's a good jumping on point for trying comics if you haven't tried them before. It's good for if you don't read Batman, you want to try Batman. It's a good way to jump on. What else is there? Even somebody like casually, you talk comics with somebody. Say, Tim, you buy comics, but you know somebody you talk comics with, but they don't buy comics. For $10 is a great jumping on point.
Sure.
For them just to try it. So it's a way to kind of push for new Batman readers, you could say.
Okay, I got you.
And I believe we're going to make up some coloring sheet for the kids, and
cool.
I think we have some Batman Day masks and some free comic book days, Batman stuff left over from the past.
Cool.
So we're going to bring that stuff out and hand that stuff out to the kids. So the one book set, and probably more. We'll probably do some kind of Batman raffle. Actually, I'm talking to Corey Hampshire.
Yes.
He's going to do a special Batman blank cover for us. So.
Hey, all right.
So we'll probably, if you buy anything Batman related that day, you'll get a ticket, and maybe you'll win a Corey Hampshire original Batman art.
Ooh, very nice. I like that.
So just because DC doesn't want to push Batman Day at the comic book shop doesn't mean we can't take up our own.
That's right. Absolutely. Before we move on to the next topic, let me circle back for a minute, Jim. For those who may not know about, like you mentioned, who are just starting to jump in, the Joker War, can you give a little teaser for a backstory about that so they know what they be getting into?
There was a character called the Grand Designer. He was like the master of making up plans. And the Joker stole the master plan how to beat Batman from him.
Ooh.
Stole it, maybe killed him. We don't know for sure. And basically this plan is going into effect, which is really throwing Batman back on his heels.
No kidding. Wow.
One of the things, I'll give away a little bit.
Okay.
One of the things is Joker was able to hack into Bruce Wayne Enterprises and clear it out.
Oh, it took all of his dough? Oh, man.
Yep. Now he's using it to fund his war on crime, or his crime war. And now everybody's going after Bruce Wayne for where did this money go and did you embezzle it? And so Batman Bruce Wayne is being hit from all fronts.
That sounds like it. Even yeah, whether he's Batman or Bruce Wayne, he's getting attacked on both ends. That's crazy.
So again, we have the first, not the first appearance, but Punchline, the new character, the new Joker's girlfriend's in there. Very hot character right now. You saw the first time her and Harley faced up against each other.
Ooh.
Joker's ex versus his current.
Right.
You know. And there's a lot more stuff in there. It's
cool.
You know, Catwoman, who is now kind of dating Bruce Wayne and almost married him. She knew of this plan. Now the guilt that, you know what, I should have put a stop to this.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of story in there, and hopefully it all wraps up an issue with that 700, the last or whatever. No, actually, I'm sorry, issue number 100. It wraps up with issue number 100.
Gotcha. Very cool. Sounds very interesting. Well, there you go, guys. If you're looking to jump into a good storyline, sounds like that's definitely one, and he's got a good deal lined up. So yeah. Very cool. Well, I was going to change gears with you a little bit. It's still only on the Batman subject, but as Jim knows, DC launched its fandom about a week or two ago, and they released a ton of stuff, upcoming games, new animated movies that are down the pipeline. But the one cool thing, which is what we're going to talk about, is that they released the early teaser of The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, which is supposed to debut next year. So let me first ask you, Jim, have you caught the trailer for that yet?
I did catch it. I enjoyed it. I want more.
I know, right? Telling you.
But it was a good launch, and I'm sorry to say, I think a lot of people thought the Patterson Batman was going to be kind of weak. Mm-hmm. But the whole I Am Vengeance line in action kind of put it a little bit more hardcore.
Yeah, that guy who, especially towards the end of the trailer, he goes, "Who are you?" And he took that one guy and he just beat him, and then he kept going and going and going.
Yeah, everybody was ready to say, "I'm Batman," but no, he didn't say that. He pummeled that person and said, "I am vengeance." So I thought it was cooler. I'm excited because the villains look very dark, and I'm kind, everybody's kind of saying it's going to be Rivaldo as the Riddler as the main villain, and I always felt like I want to see a dark Riddler story, not a goofy Riddler story.
Right, and I think they're supposed to have Zoe Kravitz is supposed to play Catwoman.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell's supposed to play Penguin, so they've got several main Batman rogues gallery villains in this story. Right.
So I mean, I hope they don't overfill with villains where it's like origin. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, most of these characters are very recognizable.
Yes.
Let's just get to the story. That's not. I don't need to see Bruce Wayne's parents get shot again.
Nah, right.
I don't need to see. I don't know, whatever origin they come up with the other ones. I just want. We're familiar with them. There's been tons of cartoons. There's been tons of movies, video games. Mm-hmm. Let's just move right into the story.
I think if I'm not wrong, you can correct me. I'm pretty sure they said that this movie took a lot of inspiration from Batman. Was it year 0 or year 1?
I thought it was Long Halloween.
That might be that too. You're right. It could be that. I might be mixed up.
But the outfit looks very much like a Lee Bajeo. I'm probably butchering his name. Mm-hmm. An artist who makes the outfit look very realistic. The thin build reminds me more of the Long Halloween. Maybe I'm just hearing stuff about the outfit.
Oh, it could be.
Batman Year 1 was also used a lot in the Batman Begins.
Yes, it was. Very much so.
I don't know.
I gotta say, go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
I like the trailer.
I do, and I was just about to say, it reminds me a lot about Christopher Nolan's original take, Batman Begins. The dark tone, but this seems even darker than that, which is what's really interesting.
Right. The only thing about the Christopher Nolan Batmans, and I'm not saying it was a bad thing, it was more of a human story. There was really no superheroes.
Yeah, right.
Or supervillains. You know, they all seem like they were just average people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not average, you know, but nothing extraordinary about their abilities.
Right.
So maybe if they put that superhero aspect in it, I think I would enjoy it more.
I think so. We'll see. It's definitely promising. We'll see what happens. That first trailer is phenomenal for a teaser. So, 2021. It's unspecified exactly when it's supposed to come out, but we'll keep you locked in. Let's switch gears to the Marvel scene a little bit. As I'm sure you know, Black Panther Chadwick Boseman just recently passed away.
Yes.
We just discussed as well that they're going to be going ahead with Black Panther 2. And Disney just released a statement basically not saying a whole lot, but just that they're going to pay homage to Chadwick in this next film, and that basically they're going to write his character off as dying. Basically between Endgame and Black Panther 2. Somewhere between in that time frame, Chadwick's T'Challa passed away. And that Shuri, I believe is how you say her name, is supposed to take up the mantle as the new Black Panther.
Is Shuri Michonne or the sister?
I think his actual sister, I believe.
Okay. And I'm okay with that. I mean, either actress taking over, I'm okay with. Michonne, I think, would have been a better physical choice.
Mm.
But, again, I mean, there was a storyline in Black Panther where his sister took over for a while.
Yeah.
You know, there was a female Black Panther. His passing was shocking. I guess they kept a very tight circle of who knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if Disney knew about it already, they probably already were planning in respect to the family not to say anything, which I'm happy about.
Right, exactly.
You know, so I believe Disney probably had a little bit of knowledge what was going on. You know. And probably had a direction if something did happen.
A backup plan, yeah. You always have to have some sort of a backup plan, yeah.
Right. So I mean, again, anybody at that age passing away that young, it's sad.
Yeah, very much. So, we'll see how Black Panther 2 pans out. It's part of Phase 4 for the MCU, so we'll see how it pans out.
I would guess it probably would do just as good, if not better, in the first.
I don't suspect that it'll be a major issue, especially because of Chadwick's passing, and they're going to basically memorialize the film, basically, in that sense, too.
Right.
So I think it'll probably be one of their top-notch movies from whatever year that comes out.
I'm just glad to hear they're not just going to replace him with another actor and act like... You know what? I'm glad about that, you know. That way he'll always be Black Panther.
Yeah.
Or at least T'Challa.
Yeah, for now. Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's very sad that something like that happened to somebody that young.
Absolutely. I agree with that. So, all right. Well, as I mentioned also, Black Widow's movie is supposed to be coming out soon. And as movie theaters are starting to reopen somewhat, it's still not clear yet, Jim, as to whether or not they're going to release it to theaters or if it's going to go straight to a streaming service. It's still kind of up in the air.
I think with the test of the, Bill and Ted's came out last week, New Mutants.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll be honest, they're probably not Black Widow expectations.
Sure.
You know,
Right.
They're still main movies that aren't main movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see it doing theaters real soon. I think it'll be theaters. Just for the fact that the theaters need something out there to, sell tickets.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just half capacity, I can't imagine being a movie owner during these times.
Yeah, it's been nuts not being able to go to the movie theater for the last several months. And so
Even though I drive past in Monticello, I drive past that drive-in all the time, and I keep looking at their choices. I'm like, that would be awesome to see.
yeah, wouldn't it?
You know, like last week, I think they had at the Lakeshore Drive-In over in Monticello, they had Nightmare on Elm Street and not Exorcist, Nightmare on Elm Street and boy, it was another movie. Another horror movie. I'm like, holy smokes, that'd been awesome to see. Oh, Pet Cemetery.
Oh, Pet Cemetery. Oh, yeah, there you go.
I hope it was the originals.
I was gonna say I can't tell you. Hopefully it was. Be a bigger draw, I would think.
Yeah, I would hope it'd be the originals. So.
All right. Well, okay. Switching gears. I was asked by a few people that I talked to. They wanted to know whether or not you have managed to take a look at the new Hulk book, which is called The Maestro.
Yes.
Okay. Give us a little background on that.
It is the backstory of Hulk, Future Imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
In the Future Imperfect book, Bruce Banner Hulk gets thrust into the future, and he sees the future where basically the future self of him, the Maestro, has taken over the whole planet.
Mm.
And there was a trailer on YouTube for the book that just was like a perfect explanation, like how does a scientist become a madman, a hero to a monster, you know, all the different darker comparisons. And this basically is a story about the end of the Marvel Universe, you know, when, at least for this reality, how Bruce Banner took over the Earth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's always one of those stories that you knew the ending but never knew the story. Now you get to hear the story, and it's kind of, I'm excited for it. You can't beat Peter David Hulk. The guy who wrote Hulks Forever.
Right.
Dale McKean draws the Hulk more beautiful than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a phenomenal book.
Cool. I just want to get your feedback on it. I had a lot of people ask me that I've talked to recently about you know, picking it up or adding it to their list or whatever, and I told them that I would ask you and get your opinion about it. So there you go. So it's definitely a worth grab.
It was Eric, wasn't it? It was your sports guy Eric, wasn't
it? he may have dropped a few hints. I won't deny that, but yes. So very cool. Well, as always, guys, we've got, if you guys looking for new releases, I know this week's a little different because of Labor Day. Jim has put up announcements in the week saying that things kind of got pushed back because of the holiday, understandably. But if you guys go to jimscreativecomics.com, you can take a look at all the new releases. Your FOCs are on there, all that good stuff. So there's a lot of cool new Marvel and DC books that are coming out, so always check that out. I usually check it out Sundays. That's usually when it's refreshed for the week and ready to go. So make sure you head there. Jim's always posting cool stuff on Facebook, both Creative Comics and Creative Comics 2 Facebook pages. It's always cool to see cool stuff that they got. He's getting a lot of cool Funko Pops in, for one. I've noticed the uptake in that recently, so that's cool.
Yep. Justin's in charge of that, and when he sees the Turtle set that's coming out.
Yes. My mother-in-law is looking to grab that for a family member. I'm not going to say that person's name out loud. It's not me, but she wanted me to make sure I reserve that for her. So, again, that's where the FOC comes into play. So you go on there, you fill out the info, Jim or Justin get a hold of it, and they make sure they take care of it for you and put that aside for you. Because especially if that's going to be a real popular item, which I'm sure it will be, then that's definitely something you want to do on FOC.
Boy, we have a lot of those orders. So.
I bet you do. So, Jim, as we get ready to wind down September here and then heading into October, what are you going to have at the shop that you want people to keep an eye out for? You mentioned Batman Day that you guys are going to do. Is there any other events that you got planned?
We do have a Halloween Fest, but it's going to be a little bit different because the Summer of Comics just ended. Summer's ended. And I think they felt it was too close to do Halloween Fest, Comic Fest.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there are some exclusive. I think there's a Carnage statue, I think some kind of Funko Pop. There are some Halloween items that we're getting that we're going to have on Facebook, or on Facebook and the website, where you can pre-order any of that stuff.
Cool, excellent.
And usually Halloween Fest is very limited, and when it's gone, it's gone.
Right, gotcha. So very cool. Well, we definitely will keep you guys up to date on that as we go to Jim's different sites, and he always releases new info as it comes available and finalizes dates and all that stuff. So we'll keep you guys posted. Jim, if people want to check you out either in your Monticello location or in Griffith, where are you located and how can they get a hold of you?
216 East Main Street, Griffith, Indiana. In beautiful Griffith, Indiana, is Creative Comics 1. And Creative Comics 2 is 715 East Washington Street, Monticello. If you're going to Indiana Beach, come by and see me.
Absolutely. Great place to stop and get some cool souvenirs and, toys, action figures, whatever, and books and graphic novels. He's got all your needs covered. So, Jim, once again, thank you for chiming in and telling us what to look forward to in the next couple of weeks. We'll look forward to talking to you again in October and letting us know what's coming down the pipeline for October.
All right. Talk to you later, Tim.
All right, guys. When we come back, we will wind down this show and go from there. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.